Dills. Welcome to the Redog Cinema Podcast. And for our viewers and listeners, we hope you guys are doing well. And before we get into the first episode of the final season of Succession, very sad. Abe and Charlie, how are y'all doing?
We are good. We just reviewed Dungeons and Dragons right before this. And now we're ready to watch the last season of Succession. It just doesn't feel like it should be the last season, but they kind of just dropped the bomb on us.
Yeah, I agree. It felt a little strange to see the final season play out there. I mean, it's tough with the show. I feel like it's hard to see where exactly it's going to end and where the end is, because I feel like that's kind of part of the point of the show. It's like how much is too much or whatnot. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I love this show. This show had like a grip on me more than like a lot of other shows, and it's crazy because like, I don't want to be this dude to say this, but like this is the type of show that I love. So like this, when I'm watching it week on week, it grips me and I get more excited than like House of the Dragon and like
this show is,
and then even The Last of Us, because like these shows kind of grip me, bro. Like I don't know what it is, so I'm excited.
I told a lot of people, this is one of the best shows ever made.
I agree.
And it just sucks that this is the final season because it doesn't feel like the story is complete yet.
No,
I feel like they can, because the reports that were coming out was at 5 seasons. And I was like, yes, that makes sense. 5 seasons, that's perfect. That's the bread and butter. And then they were like, nope, 4 is the last. So then I just started questioning everything. I'm like, wait, did something happen in production that we don't know? Like, what's the backstory to all
or are
of
they
this?
lying to us?
Are they lying? Like, is this actually true? But no, they've come out and they said, no, this is the final season. The marketing has said this is the final season.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And then you hear reports of the actors working on the show and saying like, no, we could have definitely continued.
That's so strange.
And they're like, what?
These things tend to happen because like the directors or the writers are moving on to other things or get some other type of offer. We kind of saw that with Game of Thrones, where both of the writers, the showrunners, they got offers for a Star Wars thing, and they're like kind of just starting to rush the end of Game of Thrones so they can dip up out of there and go do Star Wars. And then that fell through. So
yeah. But with the writers and the creators of the show, they didn't tell the crew and the cast that this was the final season. They found out after everything was filmed.
Wow.
I don't like the fact that I know that now. I'm not gonna lie.
So then I'm there like, huh?
Interesting.
So then
They could have done something similar to what like directors like Christopher Nolan does, where he kind of gives people like the script and stuff like out of order, so they don't know exactly like how the plot points are hitting and where.
I feel like that's tough to do with this narrative though, but I mean, who knows?
It could be, but
we'll see.
It matters of how smart the writers are.
Yeah.
You know, how they're capable of manipulating it so that they're not aware that things end, but they do.
I guess so.
But with that being said, y'all, Charlie, let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
Hear the intro.
No, we got to hear the intro. We're not going to be talking about
Man, straight up headbanging.
I could hear his hair hitting the
I
mic.
closed my eyes and I just heard the hair.
This is such a banger, bro.
Yeah,
and you can never skip this song. There's no way you're not going to skip this banger, bro. Yo, where would you rank this as?
For themes?
Themes.
Oh, it's up there. It's up there.
I still think Game of Thrones has a beat.
Yeah, of course. Game of Thrones is like iconic.
Game of Thrones is probably number 1.
That's different.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, that's different. Oh, Connor.
Yeah, I want to see like how things are in relation to the relationship between the kids and the dad, because he fucked them over.
I'm so curious how
Tom
they're
betraying them and shit.
I'm so curious how they're gonna play with Connor being a presidential candidate, because they love to talk about real life.
Yeah. And also his relationship. The man is engaged.
True.
Yeah, true.
What's up, T?
He's got to be on something.
Oh, 100%.
High on life.
Yeah.
The 100 is Substack meets Masterclass meets The Economist meets The New Yorker.
Huh. They kind of sound like they're starting their own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
their own media.
This isn't the first time that Kendall has done that, though. Like, Kendall's
True, yeah.
done his weird ventures.
My only worry with the 100 is it literally too good? Like, why hasn't anyone done this before?
Sure. I am in. I'm in. I am.
So they're so unsure without their dad.
That's valid. Yeah. They just keep questioning anything they say.
Yeah.
They're not even confident in what they're saying and what they're believing.
So miserable.
Man is over it.
Fucking Christ.
How many F-bombs is Logan going to drop this season?
How many times is he going to say fuck off?
Yo, somehow, some way, I still feel like at the end of the day, Greg is going to be the one taking over
Bro,
everything.
I have a suspicion about Greg. I swear to God.
You do?
I
Yes.
do.
But they're selling.
I think he might be smarter than we all think.
No.
Either that or he's going to get lucky or something.
That's what
I just think he gets lucky.
But the thing is, like, you think about the whole thing about keeping the documents and whatnot. Like, that was very smart.
Yeah, so are you certain that she's not going to leave details right before the board meeting? Do you know she's not a hostile corporate asset?
See, he's not that smart, guys.
Oh, yeah, he's dumb.
I'm gonna just gonna take this.
Okay, all right, take it.
None of them seem
Shiv is
convinced of what
always
they're pushing.
sneaking.
Oh.
Oh.
Judas.
I'm sorry, you're informing me?
No, I just wanted to perform the ask out of due deference, just in case of photos or it getting talked about or.
No, I'm sorry, you're asking me or you're informing me?
Oh my God, he's such a cuck, dude. I can't stand him.
I like just found out today that him and Shiv are British.
No, Shiv is Australian.
Oh, she's Australian.
He's British. I knew Shiv was British. I knew Sarah was British. I mean, Australian. But he's British.
Yeah.
After crazy margins. Shiv, you okay?
Yeah.
You sure?
No, it's fine. I'm fine. It's just, Tom's apparently out with Naomi Pierce. Did you know about this?
No. What? No.
I'm trying to remember who Naomi Pierce is.
She was the girl that was with Kendall beginning of season 3.
When they went to visit the Pierce family, she's the one that he was
that
dating.
does drugs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Mhm.
They're both addicts, yeah.
Crazy dad celebrating the birthday. They're out here planning another company.
Yeah, but he's not actually
toxic.
celebrating a birthday because his stuff is all business related.
No, of course. But I'm saying, like, they're not present.
Nice. What are you at now?
Solid, still holding.
Yeah, 1%.
It's just fear is in these labs. But then it gets awfully spendy to get aggressive.
Like how much?
Like another 100 mil.
Brother.
Just to keep at 1%?
Did he already spend that?
But if you spent it, you'd still be, like rich.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Man is broke. He got no money.
In the end, if there is just too much emotional shrapnel, I wondered what your view would be. Not that you necessarily need to have one, but
Oh my God.
He's
What would happen?
meandering around the whole thing.
This is his like shit.
Yeah.
Like he does this every single
So does
episode.
Greg.
Yeah.
well.
The
They
thing is,
both
yeah,
do.
they're so similar. One's just a bully version.
if we're good, we're good. Okay. Well, that's heartening.
Is he basically just asking him that they'll still maintain a relationship even if
he gets
divorcing
divorced.
Shiv?
Yeah.
He'd be like,
But
"Am
like
I
you
still
see
in your
how
good
long
graces?"
it took him just to say that?
Yeah.
Are you scared of fighting Dad?
Am I scared of fuck? No, Ken. It's just that's getting fucking old. You spent the last 3 months hunting down, contributors, backers, right?
So funny because I would have never thought in the first season that Roman had the most sense out of all the kids, but he really does.
I think Roman now understands what Logan is capable of. And I think Roman still has that fear. He's still scared of his dad.
Yeah. Do you think that has to do with the fact that both Kendall and Shiv went through the whole, oh, you're the potential CEO thing, got screwed over? Roman was not ever really, like, considered.
No, he was.
Seriously considered? No. He would say it, but Logan was
We
like,
knew,
he's not going to be able to do the job. But through that, he's still like, he's more realistic about everything than the other two. The other two are just kind of enraged and want to attack him.
They care about power.
So, I hear you've made an enormous faux pas, and everyone's laughing up their sleeves about your date.
What? Why?
Why? Because she's brought a ludicrously capacious bag.
what is it, like a Gucci bag, and they're shitting on it.
He's just saying it's big.
Because like the actual like rich people brands, nobody knows the names.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
besides them.
Maybe we should go.
Oh, are you okay? What happened?
Nothing. I just asked Logan for a selfie.
Asked Logan for a selfie.
Yeah, I said congrats on the big deal, and I was like, Karching, am I right? I was being funny.
And Logan's like, fuck off.
Yep.
Like this. I really do. And besides, everything else might fall apart. He might go on a killing spree in 7-Eleven, and you might get your dick stuck in an AI jerk machine.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the one-liners, bro. They don't get old.
This acquisition will be nothing to do with Dad. It's completely unrelated.
That's bullshit.
Cap.
That's
That's complete cap. Stop
See,
it.
that's what I was saying. Is they all have like a vendetta. He doesn't.
Like Rome is trying to move on from it. He's like, you know what?
That's also partially true. Roman doesn't like conflict,
No.
especially with Logan.
I mean, because every single time Logan gets him, and he can't, and he's always like flustering, doesn't know what to say when his dad is absolutely cussing him out.
Yeah.
Right.
You're a good guy.
Thank you, sir.
You're my pal.
Thank you.
Is this his driver?
More, because he was the guy who came out when Kendall killed that kid, right? That's the same guy.
He's the one that figured that whole situation out.
Yeah, so he's probably
He's
like
been his right-hand man.
Yeah, security.
Okay,
driver, all
yeah,
that.
he's like his security, head of security maybe.
Pretty well, actually. I mean, we've never licked his big omelet nipples.
Yeah, Roman's a savage.
Afraid we're gonna need to hear that voice, Carrie. Okay, you can pop it back in your mouth now. We're getting on the plane. Thanks, bye.
Oh my god, the writers. So Logan's having like an existential crisis.
Yeah, seems like. Don't forget, he'd had that episode too, when they were about to announce the purchase of the other companies or whatever.
Pierce?
Yeah, they had to get him like a doctor or whatever. So he's going through some health stuff. He had a heart attack, for God's sake.
My thought was more like he's not sure if everything that he's doing is like worth it.
That too.
The Disgusting Brothers on motherfucking tour. We just did it.
I knew it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She's a firecracker, man.
Who's gonna tell on him?
Logan.
Or he has cameras
He's
everywhere.
cameraed up the wazoo. CCTV.
Which room?
Every room. You know that.
Ah, he's messing with him.
Oh, I don't know.
The guest room?
It's Logan, bro.
I think he's just making him paranoid.
Yeah.
That too, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
he's
there's no way. That's not true.
Imagine we think he's capping, and then just the next scene, it's Logan watching the footage.
Stop, no.
Had a bit of a rummage.
Did you rummage to fruition?
Can I not say?
Well, you've accidentally made him a sex tape, Greg.
God.
I need to tell him.
Oh my god, Tom.
Tom's an asshole.
Tom is crazy, bro.
Tom loves playing God.
Yeah.
He wants to be Logan so bad.
He does look up to Logan a lot. I mean, it's the power dynamics. It's wanting power, and Tom is one of them as well.
Tom's probably the number one, bro.
You know?
Because if you think about it, like his whole relationship with Shiv.
Oh, that's not even really a marriage. That's just an agreement with one another.
Yeah.
It's the kids. The kids are with the Pierces.
They are the rival
Already know.
bidders? Oh, butter my beanpole.
What am I? What?
They love to defer like the bad news.
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
They all do
They
it.
all do. They never want to tell. Oh my god, Greg.
Sir, if I may have a moment.
What? What's the issue?
The rival bidder. It's probably the kids.
Uh-huh.
I don't think you have anything to be concerned about. You are the solid option.
Uh-huh. Call your wife, Tom. Call your fucking wife and tell them to get their own fucking idea. It's pathetic. And tell her she's never had a single fucking idea in her entire fucking life.
Gosh.
I think that's true of both her and Kendall. Kendall literally, they just poach ideas from people.
Christ, that would be hilarious if he just says that.
So he says he finds me disgusting and despicable. Kind of smile.
I wanted to say
thank you for coming, but I think it's just a little bit too late. We have a preferred bidder, so.
She wants them to
Offer more.
to push. Yeah.
What's like?
I think she just called them to just vibe check them to see where they were at with Logan and Waystar.
Maybe.
And then to be like, all right, let's pin them against one another. I mean, they already are, but
Yeah, she might be playing the both of them.
yeah. But her hate is for Logan.
It's a bit dry in here. Do you have any jokes?
Well, let me think.
Dry
let me
as
think
fucking
what-
dust. Come on! Roast me! Give me a drubbing. Reggie.
You're mean. You're mean. You're a mean old man. You're a mean old bastard. And you scare the life out of folks. That's your thing. You're scaring me right now, and that's why I don't even know what to do.
Who wants to smell Greg's finger? Hey? Guess the scent. What a fuck.
Huh?
He said it wants to smell Greg's finger.
I'm dead.
Okay, so we're gonna go in and say 8. Yeah, we're starting at 8.
Yeah, but if we're going for this, let's not be hard asses. We gotta let her know that we can see upside, but she's gotta help us prove it out.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, what? Yes. I'm interested. Shut up.
Okay, so I think we're looking at. We're very relaxed about the 8 billion landing spot.
This is disgusting.
Bro, they're loving this. They're loving this. Pierce is loving this.
Yeah.
Hey, so look, we were just wondering if we're not being played a little here, since this is all indicative.
Okay, what did he go up to, Tom?
Well, I can't tell you that.
Come on, Tom, you can tell me.
So that we're really serious, so the half bill extra is that's just an extra half bill?
It's definitive. It ends the conversation.
Well, that's a pretty penny for a conversation ender. Can I just, like, jizz in her brake bumper?
So, Nan,
I
look,
feel like Logan didn't offer.
we love the company and the heritage, and we'd like to make an offer that we think values the company and ends the conversation and closes this out. On an indicative handshake, we'd like to take Pierce to the next stage of its evolution with a bid of $10 billion. Hang on.
Will you speakerphone me, Shiv?
Yeah? It's Tom.
I have your dad, and he has a message.
Congratulations on saying the biggest number, you fucking morons.
Yo.
Yeah, you can tell like Roman. You can tell Roman doesn't take as much pleasure in it as they do.
I could see if I can make love to you.
Bro, what the hell are you talking about?
Gave it a go.
Shit. I just watched the top of the hour. It's bullshit. Who is this fucking lunk anyway? He looks like a ball sack and a toupee. Are you losing it, Sid?
I'm all over it, Luke.
Are you fucking losing it?
I'm on it. Don't worry.
I was waiting for Davi's wow.
I'm just
I know he was like just flat, like just speechless after. I was like, okay, wow, it is.
I want to start with that divorce scene.
Yeah.
With that breakup scene. What kind of feelings were you guys getting from that scene? Because I feel like Shiv and Tom's relationship was coming to an end from the beginning. When we met them, we're like, this is not going to last. And now this is the season where we see the breakup. We see the divorce. It's going to happen. It's going down. But not probably in the way that, you know, the events of everything that happened, you know, accumulated to this, right? And now it's for real. And that was a very strange scene. And I want to know, what are the feelings you guys got from that scene, specifically on their dynamic, their relationship, and also what this means for Shiv specifically.
Yeah, I do think it was strange, but I think it was like done purposefully, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think you're spot on with what you're saying. Like their relationship from the start, you could tell it was never gonna last, or it was never like healthy, and mainly because like you could see they were just kind of using each other for like power and like status. where like Shiv kind of needed a husband who was, in her father's company to provide that like level of status and whatnot. And obviously for Tom, he's using Shiv to get at Logan and whatnot. And ultimately he gets exactly what he wants, is to be like right under Logan's wing. And now his relationship is ending because of it. So I think this was kind of a culmination of all of that, is like, you got exactly what you wanted, Tom, and then you're losing Shiv, your wife, right? And I thought that was like, I don't know, I thought there was a little bit of parallel too between like Shiv and Logan a little bit in this episode, because I feel like Logan's been feeling a little bit of like emptiness and like a little bit of like, what's the point? Just through all the things he's been saying, just like, oh, nobody wants to laugh, nobody wants to have fun, whatever. And the stuff of like,
when he was at the dinner scene,
the dinner with Colin, and they were just talking about like what happens after life, like whatever. Kind of like, is this all worth it kind of thing? And then I feel kind of the same with like Shiv, in the sense where like, I don't know, to me it seems like everything she's done at this point is kind of grasping at straws to kind of like find fulfillment, but she hasn't found it in anything. She hasn't found it in her husband. She hasn't found it in her career path. She hasn't found it in her family. And I think like that scene kind of culminated in all of that. And she started to feel the emotion of like, what is the point?
Would you say Shiv has no purpose? She doesn't know what her purpose is?
Yeah.
Is her purpose just to beat her dad up? Yeah,
I think none of them have a purpose. Like, I think that's also Logan's biggest criticism of them, is that they're just kind of parasites, and none of them have an original thought. So they just have to like, the reason why they jumped at Pierce was because they knew that he wanted it, right? Like they knew that was something that he was going to go for. And as much as they said like, oh, it's not about that, like obviously it is. So I thought that this kind of culminated, like even Logan feels like there's no purpose anymore, and like all of them are kind of grasping at, what is it that we can do to feel something? And right now it's going after Pierce, but when the dust settles, what's going to be left?
Because what happens, your family relationship is gone.
Mm-hmm.
No one has a connection with one another. Every single time you guys get together, it's always off. It's someone just trying to gain up on another person, or rise above the other, show off. So it just, from this episode, it just seems like everyone is off. No one has no idea what they're doing. Yeah. I feel like the idea is just to, I don't know, power. And I think what this episode showed to me is that power is not enough. There's no fulfillment in power.
No.
With no purpose. And there's no purpose in what they want. It's just them just battling one another. And it's freaking phenomenal because it's executed so freaking well to see something like this. Because I don't know, we're not part of this circle. We don't know how billionaires and trillionaires, whatever, interact with one another. I don't even know how accurate this thing is, but I just know it.
It feels like
it's so accurate. It feels like we're with them. We're living with them.
Yeah. This is what I imagined it to feel like. Like I think about all the time, like money and the consequences of money and power and stuff, and like how nice it would be to just like, you have $1 billion, you really don't have to worry about anything that you spend. But then like all of the different dynamics that come into play with family and like trust and loyalty and fulfillment, like all of that stuff becomes really difficult. So I think that to me, this show puts that to light in a very, very good way, in a way that's like super entertaining, but also super real.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the show.
Yeah. Charlie, I want to speak about Roman. And we were all commenting on this and seeing that Roman is now acting like the one that has the most sense.
Yeah.
Whereas in season 1, you were like, this guy is crazy. What is he saying? But now we're seeing that, he's the one that's like, you know what? Let's actually start something on our own. Let's not be the parasite. Let's start something from ground zero. And, from that perspective, what were you thinking of Roman, in the first episode? What did you get from him?
I think we were kind of misled as to his potential, probably from the early on in the show from season 1. Because he's a person who even till this, still in season 4, says some wild shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Roasting people, says crazy things all the time. And so you kind of discount him you're like, he's kind
He's
of
a bit of a crazy
He's
person.
a nut.
Yeah.
He's just a rich daddy's boy who's crazy and does weird shit. But he's smart. He's smart. He's realistic. He's not letting his emotions get the best of him in his decision making. Versus, Shiv and Kendall clearly are letting their emotions take control, and that's what's making them be so aggressive towards this purchase to beat out their dad. And Roman's just the level-headed one. And I think that them not listening to Roman more often is going to come to bite them in the ass in the future.
Yeah, I think the reason why Roman's character has progressed like this is because I think we've seen that Roman is the one who, like, throughout the show has respected Logan the most, and
I think actually tried to have a relationship with him.
Yes,
because we saw that in season 3. The relationship was really strong until what went down at the end, where everyone just was like, "What?"
Right. Because I think that Roman has true conflict in the sense that, like, he wants to be like his dad, he wants to be successful, and he wants to have a relationship with his dad, but he also wants his dad to like him and his dad to think he's impressive and all of that. So he
would you say, like, he wants to be seen?
Yeah, he wants to be seen, like, and I think all of them do. But I think that Roman, has always tried to understand his dad a little bit better. And I think that all goes back to I was watching with my cousin the other day because she was just starting Succession. And if you remember back in the first season, like the hospital, when like Logan's not doing well, he wanted them to sign the papers to like turn over the estate to Marsha, and Roman was the only one who was like, I want to do this because this is what dad wants. But everybody else is thinking about themselves and always thinking about, like, well, what does this mean for me and the repercussions of this and this and that. And Roman's clearly not that person, right? Like, he tried to do something different, and he was really sold on like the 100 idea and all of that, and he could tell that they were just falling into the same, pitfalls again. But I think one of Roman's biggest fears is being alone, because he knows better than to fall into this pitfall, and he's doing it anyway because he doesn't want to be alone and on his own. Seen that through his relationships and how he's been with, girlfriends and his relationship with Jerry.
That dynamic was
strange, but
really
like
strange.
He's constantly like clinging to some form of connection, and right now he's been like basically ostracized by his dad, so he has to stick together with his siblings or he has nothing.
Yeah, that's true. And then it goes back to show the situation he had with his mother. His relationship with his mother is completely off, right? All of them.
Yeah.
It's just.
But I feel like if Roman could, get past that part, he could be the boss of all of them, his whole family, essentially. I feel like he could build something that is actually like very successful and basically beat out the rest of his family.
Yeah.
You think he would be the one to do it?
Yeah, I think so. Because he's the only one that actually like is acting out of common sense and like actual like business strategy, versus everybody else letting their emotions get to them. Do they actually have $10 billion to buy this freaking company? I don't freaking know. Where are they pulling that money out of?
Yeah.
So.
What do you think, Abe? You think Roman is the most, the one who would be the most successful out of all of them?
It's tough
by the end of this season.
It's tough because I think, at the end of this season, I don't know. I think at the end of this season, I think it's like, I'm thinking and I kind of am hoping that it blows up in everybody's face, because that I think is the perfect resolution to all of this. But I think the thing with all of the kids is they all have something of Logan, or like some sort of acumen that like would help them be successful in business, but they're not polished because their dad hasn't like taken enough initiative to make them polished and to want to raise them the way that he wants them to be raised. So like, for example, Shiv is really good with like the PR and like relations sort of things.
Mm-hmm.
That's her strong suit, but she doesn't have the business acumen and like the cold-bloodedness and like the, if you need to make split-second decisions and things like that, she doesn't have that. Roman does. So he has that aspect, but he doesn't think about like the what's it called? He doesn't think about the look of things, or like how it's going to look to the media and what people are going to think of it. He doesn't think of any of that stuff. And then the thing about Candace is like, he's super
Optics.
Optics.
It's all about optics.
He's business jargon. If you want to, like, you know, I can connect with this person and network with this person and whatever, but like none of it's cohesive. You know what I mean? If they could put all of their brains together, they could low key make one really good business. But they kind of have two big egos and have never been able to actually work like that. So I think that's part of the issue.
And their dad's in the way.
When I think of Kendall, I just think of the guy at the top of a pyramid scheme. That's like going to fall.
Yeah. 100%.
That's how I see it.
He's a crypto bro.
Yeah,
that's literally what he reminds me of.
Yeah.
Another dynamic that we saw at play was Tom and Greg back at it again.
Yep.
And it's still strange. One more time, Greg is still Greg. Tom is still Tom.
They're like the same person.
It's just like you said. Tom is the one that bullies. Greg can't bully.
Yeah.
Greg can't make a decision on his own.
Greg is very gullible.
Yeah, and they're just like, but Tom also does that too.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, Tom has like the one person that he can pick on, and that's Greg, because he sees probably himself the most in Greg.
You know what's so interesting? He can't pick on anyone else.
No.
He can't pick on Shiv, on Roman, on Kendall. No one else. No one. Everyone was like, really, Tom? And he shuts up.
Yeah. But he picks on Greg because he feels the level of insecurity that Greg does. And instead of like relating to him about it, he's like, well, let me put you down, since that's what everybody else around me does. So it's the dynamics of relationships in the show are like, they're different, bro. Like nothing else comes
so
close
crazy.
to like
It's so crazy.
the layers of like relationship dynamics and characters. Like this show does that on another level.
Yeah, it does.
And Greg is also not immediate family. The other ones are all are. So
Right. So Tom in his mind, he's like, I have the right to treat you like shit, because like he treats the rest of the family like royalty. He's like, you're kind of fake family, so it doesn't matter. Yeah.
That's insane. That's actually insane.
That and his whole strategy from the beginning was to get on their good side,
right?
Too. So yeah.
And Tom got what he wanted. Tom just wanted to make sure. Look, Logan, I just want to make sure we good.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of did, but it's also like he knows how quickly Logan will cut someone out.
Oh yeah.
So like he's you know, happy about his choice in a sense, because Logan's on his side, but how long is that going to happen? You know, Logan was like, you know, if we're good, we're good.
Yeah, because he has a direct contact to Shiv.
Right.
Shiv will still pick up if Tom calls. But now, since divorce is going to happen, how's this going to shape up?
Right.
Yeah, not only that,
the dynamics.
And they won the bid to buy Pierce. So what is the use of Tom anymore? You know?
That's true.
It's kind of useless. He gave Tom the job to negotiate the deal. He called Shiv, all of that. Couldn't come through and beat them, so what is he going to use him for now?
Yeah.
He can throw him away. He can.
But he also could just, you know, Tom is like a puppy dog. Like, he needs someone
use him as a puppet, yeah.
So if he gets casted aside by Logan, what's to keep him from just crawling back to Shiv and trying to do whatever he wants? So I'm sure Logan's probably aware of that, and probably, you know, doesn't want to give them any additional advantage. So he might try to keep Tom close for the time being.
There was the negotiation scene. That was a big moment in this episode. And I think when it was happening, we were like, oh, this is just a play by Pierce, and that's what exactly was. Pierce was really smart in this entire situation. And I just want to know what stood out to you guys most on that scene, specifically how that dynamic was crazy, you know, because from the beginning, they were in their own meeting for the 100, and there was investors coming in. They're like, no, give me 5 because we're figuring this out. And then they go to Pierce, and the same thing happens to them, whereas now they were clinging on to another person to, you know, get a deal done. So that was, I think, fascinating part for me. But for you guys, what stood out to you on that whole scene? Because it was interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, I think the thing is, this is like, I want to know how many negotiation scenes we've seen in the seasons, because I think we've seen plenty. The first episode, like, we saw one. They were buying Volter, and Ken was the one negotiating.
Yeah,
but they're all a little bit different in nuance based on like who's negotiating. And I think the really interesting thing about this one is like the 3 of them were negotiating, and the 3 of them, I mean the kids. The 3 of them were negotiating, and like Ken and Shiv were so quick to be like, let's just go higher than what he's gonna go. Like, let's just go higher. Roman was the only one who was like, pump the brakes, like whatever. But they're just so ready to hurt his ego because they've been hurt by his ego their entire lives. So that was the thing that I saw, is just like they know exactly what they need to do is just say a number higher than his. And they did that early instead of even trying to make some sort of like, conservative approach of like, let's make sure
He went conservative.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, because he's Logan Roy.
Yeah.
He wants to screw everyone over. So he thought that was going to happen, and then that's, he got screwed over by his kids. And, we'll see what he makes of that. We'll see if he's truly upset about it by the next episode, or if he's like, they overpaid and whatever.
Maybe he'd be like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Let's see if they can even pay it.
Facts, because their business advisor or whatever was on the phone, was like, yeah, we can do 8.5. He was confident at 8, and then when he went to 8.5, and they're like, no, 10 billion, he was like, no, this is amazing. This is great. So that was very interesting.
Yeah.
So that's a good question that Charlie's raising, because do they even have the money?
I think the thing that without trying to sound like I know exactly what's going on and how this all would work, but I think what happens is they have the money from the sale, and then the rest is like financing. Like, how much can they raise based on other investors and whatnot?
Yeah.
So that's probably what they're trying to gauge from that guy. I don't know how much their money is based on like what their payout is of the whole Gojo sale and stuff, but it's probably significant if they can get up to $10 billion. So yeah.
That's insane. This episode, it's been a great start for episode 1. And we knew that season was going to be good because it scored 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No way. I didn't
Yeah,
see
this
that.
is absolutely
that.
crazy. But I want Charlie specifically and Abe answer this after. What are some of the predictions, or what are you looking forward to the most in this final season? What do you want to see happen?
I just don't know where the resolution of all this is going to be. Like, I'm really curious to see how they close this out. And also, I'm just curious to see what Logan's next move is, because I feel like he always has a move. But they kind of put him in a corner now, very difficult situation, and kind of screwed him. Kind of for the first time, like in a big way, because usually he's the one who comes out winning through every situation. So I'm curious what his follow-up to that is.
I think for me, I just want to see like some flat out like humanity, like from each of the characters.
Like everyone just goes crazy.
Yeah, like I want to see like emotions and like the reactions that we haven't seen before, especially from the family, like Logan and the kids. Because I feel like a lot of them there's deflecting with witty humor and whatever. I think the most at this point in this season, obviously, that we've seen is just Shiv specifically. But I want to see the other ones crack too, and I want to see what it's like for them to crack and for this to all explode and the emotion to just be too much. Because obviously, it's business, but then when you're dealing with family and all of the past trauma and whatever they've dealt with, like it becomes serious. So. What I want to see.
Yeah. No, I think Shiv is already cracking, and I think she's going to be the one that goes. I think she's going to be the star of this season. I think we got from episode 1. I think a lot of it is going to focus on her.
I think it's going to be Roman.
You think it's Roman? I think it's Shiv. I think Shiv's just. There was that moment where she just started smiling and laughing after that phone call where they put Logan on speaker. It's just, that's crazy.
I think she's gonna go manic.
I really think she's gonna go manic too.
She's gonna be kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think the reason why Roman's gonna be the one is because they're clearly placing him as the odd one out in the trio. So I think that he's gonna have some sort of decisive moment. So curious to see where that is going to go.
I wonder if they're all gonna go broke at the end.
That would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious, but I don't think they're gonna do that.
It'd be too obvious.
Yeah, it is too obvious.
Maybe it's just obvious.
They're gonna get. I know it's gonna be a creative ending. I know it's gonna leave us like jaw dropping, like it did with season 3. I just don't know how. Like Charlie's saying, like I don't know how. How are you gonna finish this story? Yeah. That's the question that everyone is asking.
Yeah.
And we're only gonna know end of May because we got 10 episodes. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
It's first season. I mean, first episode of the last season, and I don't know. I just feel like it's just gonna be going up from here.
Yeah, hopefully.
And just absolutely. exploding or dropping.
Oh, mic drop.
Yeah. But you guys have anything else to add that you want to bring up on this episode?
I got nothing, man. Succession, fire. I can't believe the show's ending. But we got some episodes to enjoy. So
Are we rating this episode?
Oh, sure.
Oh, that is I totally forgot about ratings.
That's fine. I'll go first.
Yeah.
Just quick fire.
I'll just give it right off the bat. It's a great way to start the final season. I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Cool.
Great.
Yeah, I'll probably give it an 8.7. Yeah, it's a solid start.
No, yeah, this was this was a great start. I'm on with Charlie as well. I'm giving it a 9.0. That was phenomenal.
It's very good.
It just sets the bar. They got right into it. They were like, "Yo, this is what happened. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happened." They're separated. The rats are with the rats. Logan has his own crew too, and they hate each other.
Yep.
Boom. Negotiation. First episode. Let's go like they did back in season 1, like you said. So yeah, no, this was a great episode. And wow, guys, we appreciate you guys listening or watching this episode. Like this video. Follow us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. We love you guys. See you soon for episode 2.
Peace.